Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. I'm CJ LeMaster, your lead investigative reporter and your host for the WLBT Plus Digital News Desk update on this April 6th, 2026. Hope you're doing well today after your weekend, after your holiday weekend. Still a little brisk, cool air this morning and into this afternoon, but of course that's going to change. No weather in Mississippi stays constant or consistent more than a couple of days at a time, as we all know. Thank you so much for joining us today. We got several of you watching right now on our YouTube and Facebook live streams, as well as our OTT platform. So thank you so much for making us part of your day. I want to get right to it. We got some stories that we're covering here. Our first involves a shooting that took place over the weekend that police still need your help with. And so we will tell you what we know at this point. Jackson police investigating a shooting that took place just after 9 o'clock Saturday night at the Texaco on Medgar Evers Boulevard. Officers say a 50-year-old man was shot once and taken to a hospital with minor injuries, believed to be non-life-threatening. If you have any information that could help JPD, please contact Crime Stoppers or Jackson Police at 601-960-1234. Sorry about that, folks. Jury selection beginning today in the trial of a former Jackson State University student accused of killing his roommate. A Hinds County grand jury indicted Randall Smith on a first-degree murder charge back in 2023. Investigators say Smith killed Flynn Brown in December 2022, then dragged his body down 7 flights of stairs and put him in the trunk of a car. The jury selection scheduled to begin here in the next few minutes in Judge Adrian Wooten's courtroom. Of course, we will keep you updated throughout the week as that trial begins. A former police officer who pleaded guilty to using excessive force on a man in handcuffs is set to be sentenced today. In that case, we're talking about Jeffrey Walker. He is charged with 1 count of deprivation of civil rights under color of law stemming from an incident in 2022. He was indicted in 2024 and initially pleaded not guilty in federal court. According to court records, Walker was an officer with the Capitol Police Department when he slammed the man's head on under the hood of a car and kicked him several times in the face while the man was handcuffed. Sentencing already underway today. We'll let you know what decision was made there in federal court in our early evening newscasts. Also today, testimony resuming right now in the trial of Jada Kelly, the one accused of killing 2 sisters back several years ago in a DUI crash. Kelly was indicted on 3 counts of aggravated DUI in connection with the crash in January of 2023 at Canton Mart Road and the I-55 frontage road in North Jackson. Investigators say Kelly was intoxicated when she hit another vehicle, killing Azure Higgins and Valerie Lynch. And of course, our Candace Bruce is in the courtroom, and she'll have updates for you in our early evening newscasts. Gluckstadt is one of the fastest growing cities in Mississippi. That growth is raising questions about whether city resources can actually keep up. Now, keep in mind, it was incorporated less than 5 years ago, now has a population of about 3,600 people. And it's still growing with multiple new neighborhoods and businesses under construction. On any given day, 20 to 30,000 people pass through the city. That's a number that's only expected to climb. Now, a pending annexation could add even more land, more rooftops, and more businesses to a city that's still figuring out how to keep pace with its own growth.
A few rooftops and a few more businesses is not that big a deal, but if we were to get several more neighborhoods and like that annexation and like I said with stuff, it would become restrained then once the businesses start coming in and the houses. So then I would want to probably hire at least 1 more person per shift. So that would be 4 more officers at least.
Now, the police department isn't the only concern. Chief Hale says it's likely the public works department would need to expand too to meet build new roads, and meet infrastructure demands. A breathtaking view of Earth, a new one, captured by astronauts now headed to the moon. NASA releasing, of course, the first images taken aboard the Artemis II mission. Mission Commander Reed Wiseman snapped the photos using a tablet showing Earth from deep space One image reveals the entire planet from pole to pole, glowing against the darkness. Another captures what NASA describes as a pale blue dot seen through the spacecraft window. The astronauts say the view was so stunning they paused everything, even delaying their first meal, just to take it all in. And right now on WLBT.com, you can keep up with that Artemis mission right now live. If you go to WLBT.com and you click on the Watch Live section right there at the top, go to our breaking news and live events live stream, and you can see right there we have the Artemis space mission and what's currently happening right now as crew talk to each other and try to get all of that. There's I was trying to pick some pull up some audio from that stream right now, but there's no radio traffic right now back and forth. But of course, all of this happening in real time. This is all NASA's official feed from space, and as you can see, that is the current view of the moon from where they are located. Certainly amazing to see. This is the first lunar mission since 1972. And just to give you an example, not only is it the first lunar mission since 72, but it's also, as we talk about this, it's significant because, again, we've not had anyone walk on the moon for, more than 50 years, decades and decades. This is the precursor to that. So as astronauts set forth to slingshot around the moon and come back to Earth, they're going to be testing various things to make it possible for that spacewalk and that lunar landing in the future. All of this in an effort to be as safe as possible. NASA conducting these missions, whenever we saw the space shuttle, or not space shuttle, we saw Artemis take off, last week. Many of us, especially those of us who are a little older, think back to the Challenger and think back to that just horrific event. So anytime these launches take off and they take place without a hitch and any significant problems, it's a blessing. And so it's amazing to get to see that and be able to see this mission in such a way that we've really not been able to before. We've not had lunar missions since the advent of the internet and streaming. And so being able to watch in real time, or, obviously slightly delayed, but as live as possible, these events happening, it is nothing short of remarkable.
Opportunity to get a chance to see what works for them now that they are in the microgravity environment.
And you can hear there, you can hear Houston talking to the crew there, kind of describing what we're going to be seeing. And again, this is just something, if you're like me, and it's fascinating for you to be able to watch. You never know what you're going to see, what's going to happen, what they're going to talk
Coming
about.
Up next on the crew's timeline today will be their cabin configuration portion. You heard some calls down to Science Officer Dr. Kelsey Young earlier about how they have configured the cabin so far. This is just a little bit more of timelined activity for them if they need to further do so.
All right, so actually,
the crew had time on their schedule allotted for configuring the spacecraft cabin for how they intended to arrange it today.
Ironically, in the midst of us talking about, there's not much of a schedule. You heard Capcom, or you heard Houston rather, give a little bit of a description of what we were going to be seeing at some point. And when they switched to the cabin view, it's just so interesting to be able to see folks out there, floating weightless in that space environment, very hostile environment.
Windows, photographing the moon, as well as making calls down about what they are seeing.
But it is a fascinating thing to watch. And, listen, we, with being able to see this, we are at the, have sort of a...
Again, we are live here in Artemis Mission Control for the duration of flyby. Currently, the Orbit 1...
It's almost a backstage pass to some of these history-making events.
Before the astronauts step foot on the rocket until the time they are splashed down and are safely recovered in the Pacific Ocean on Flight Day 10.
Yeah, it's certainly fascinating. Got a couple of you saying hi on this Monday. Sheikah Hampton saying hello, everyone, and using so many emojis that we can't even see what's
Again, the
going on
crew
in
is about
space.
to begin their
But I
cabin
appreciate you,
configuration
Sheikah.
portion of their
Thank you
timeline,
for
though
that.
they have been working that already, as well as potentially during their post-sleep period this morning. The official lunar flyby observations are slated to begin in just about 40 minutes.
And Essie
That's when
English.
we'll have the crew at the windows photographing the moon, as well as making calls down about what they are seeing.
Essie English saying so proud of this crew with prayer hands, and certainly it is remarkable achievements that they are making here. And lest we forget, space
And we are live here in Artemis Mission Control for the duration of the flyby.
Is an incredibly hostile environment. The temperature's there, the lack of oxygen, obviously, the intense precautions and things that have to happen, the radiation that exists out there, the solar radiation, the ways that astronauts have to protect themselves. It is an environment that is not well suited in any respect for humankind, and yet we are exploring it, and we are doing our best to understand it in hopes that it will make our lives here on Earth much better. There's a lot of scientific advances that came from the fascination with space travel and some of the things that have happened, dating back to when the space race began, back in the late 50s, early 60s. And so it's just remarkable to see this ingenuity and this bravery continuing.
Us on Earth, as they'll be flying behind the moon.
But anyway, like I said, you can see that right now on our website, WLBT.com. We're putting it on our breaking news live stream, so you're able to watch that along with the rest of the world in real time as this historic mission continues. That is all the time we've got for this edition of the WLBT Plus Digital News Desk Update for your Monday, April 6th, 2026. Already in the fourth month of the year, folks. Hope you're having a wonderful week. Hope that the rest of your day goes well. Our early evening newscast start at 4 p.m. on air and online. And before then, our First Alert weather team will be in here at 2:30 to give you an idea of what we can expect this week. But for now, I'm CJ LeMaster, your lead investigative reporter and your host each and every weekday for the WLBT Plus Digital News Desk Update. I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. And we'll see you back here next time.